So now we're removing the battery. So what you need would be your Allen keys, these small ones. They are 2.5, I believe, and the 2. So I usually just use this one to begin with because it's not a very tight area. Loosen that first one near the charging point. Just flip that out. To remove this, pull that up like so, push that through, pull this out, and that's off. Now what you see in here is actually the battery, and you have a small screw here and 2 small screws in the back there. I don't know if you can see them. There's one there, one over there. You have one in the front there. So you're going to want to listen to those. Again, here you can use the long one, it's not a problem. So removing that screw. The other one over here. That's out. Now I'm using this one because this is a little bit more of a tight space. Loosening that one. Coming in from this side, this should be okay. So now you're gonna spend a little time. If this is placed on the floor, the screws will drop out pretty easily. If you have it upside down like I do now, then you won't have gravity's help. So this is gonna take a little time to get them out. There we go. That's one. That's 2. And the third one. So now, right here, is like a small tab that you need to push down on in order for that release mechanism to release the battery. So now it should be all the way in. I should be able to pull it out. There you go. That's the battery completely out. So putting the battery back in, you're going to want to make sure that this part is at the rear. Obviously, we have the charging point at the rear as well. So when you're putting it back in, make sure the front end goes in first. You can see that there's a little tab here, so it's just going under that like this. It's now in the frame. And removing this hand, you can see a little bit better. So now you just let this part slide back down like so. Sometimes you remember that there was a connector on the other side down here. Now it's connecting with the rest of the bracket that's inside of the frame. You can hear it connecting when it gives you that clicking noise. Sometimes you have to push forward on the battery a little bit, or maybe backwards, to make it click. That's not clicking. Just gotta find the spot. There it is. Put the screws back in. Now whatever order, it doesn't really matter. Just drop them in. Actually, it's easier to do this. So that's one. So when you go to tighten these, don't overdo it. Just make sure that it's tight. There it is. And there that is. Putting the last screw back in place. Be a little bit trickier because there's not a lot of room here for your fingers. There we go. Now again, tightening. Don't over tighten it. Just make sure it's secure. Putting the battery door back in place. There's a small tab here on the front, which goes down here. So just place it in an angle, let it drop. Pull out the plug through the hole. And then you see there's that little hole again where this little screw goes. Just place that back in the hole. Tighten that. Now this part is carbon, so don't over tighten it. Just make sure that it's secure. There. There you go. You're ready to row. That's how you do it.